What's going on, my Safe Moon friends, my Safe Moon family? Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time being here, make sure to scroll down just a little bit, tap that subscribe button, tap that like button, turn on the bell notification so you're notified whenever I release videos. I'm doing daily Safe Moon updates, I'm doing price predictions, and I'm doing more. In this video, it's a bit of a Safe Moon update, but look at this. Look at this right here. Papa in the Discord said, did someone say Safe Moon blockchain? Hinting at the fact that we might have our own blockchain coming. I think a lot of us knew that already, but we're going to explore that in this video, and that's all we're going to talk about. We're going to explore that. We're going to talk about how it can happen, what a blockchain is, what this means for Safe Moon's future, what this means for Safe Moon's price, and how this can potentially change the entire course of Safe Moon as a whole. So definitely stick around for the entire video. This is a good one. In the Safe Moon Sunday AMA about two AMAs ago, there was a question that was brought up, and it was about Safe Moon blockchain. It said, is Safe Moon working on their own blockchain? And there's been a ton of rumors that have come from that. But the way that John responded, CEO John, he said, no comment. And then he kind of smirked, and then they just rubbed it off a little bit, laughed, and continued on. I think we all knew that, something was in the works. And now Papa here in the Discord said, did someone say Safe Moon blockchain? So what does this mean? Well, let's first talk about what a blockchain is, if for anyone who doesn't know. So a blockchain, it seems complicated. It definitely can be, but its core concept is really simple. It's just a type of database. It has a different storage structure, and here this will just show you how the Bitcoin blockchain, the BTC blockchain, works. So a new transaction is entered. The transaction is then transmitted to a network of peer-to-peer computers scattered across the world. This network of computers then solves equations to confirm the validity of the transaction. It's then sent here, and once confirmed to be legitimate transactions, they are clustered together into blocks. These blocks are then chained together, creating a long history of all transactions that are permanent, and that leads to transparency, which is a huge reason that people love blockchains. But anyways, the transaction is then complete. Okay, so that's how the Bitcoin blockchain works. There's a transaction, goes into this peer-to-peer computer scattered across the world network. It's then validated, sent to the chain, and transaction's complete, and it's there for everybody to see. So as far as Bitcoin's blockchain goes, it's basically just a public record of every single transaction that's done in Bitcoin. But different blockchains can work in different ways. That was just an example I wanted to show you. I mean, these are the uses for blockchains: banking, finance, healthcare, records of property, smart contracts. So we're currently built on BSC, which is Binance Smart Chain, and that is how SafeMoon is currently built. Okay, so a smart contract is a computer code that can be built into the blockchain to facilitate, verify, and negotiate a contract agreement. Smart contracts operate under a set of conditions that users agree to. When those conditions are met, the terms of the agreement are automatically carried out. Okay, so smart contracts there, supply chains, and then voting. So what's so good about blockchains? Why is SafeMoon working on a blockchain? Why would this be a huge advantage to us? Well, the advantages of blockchain here: accuracy of the chain. Okay, so the transactions on blockchain network are approved by a network of thousands of computers. This removes almost all human involvement in the verification process, resulting in less human error and an accurate record of information. Cost reduction: this reduces costs, which is ultimately good. If we're investing in SafeMoon, we want the cost to be low, we want the profit to be high, so we can see the price go up for the coins. Decentralization: so blockchains do not store any of its information in a central location. Efficient transactions, private transactions, secure transactions. We're gonna have fast, efficient speeds in terms of transactions for anything done on the SafeMoon blockchain. When it becomes a reality, there's gonna be private transactions and they're gonna be secure. And on the blockchain itself, there's gonna be transparency. We're gonna see every single transaction on the blockchain. It's an open book. That's why people love blockchains. Banking the unbanked. And if you follow SafeMoon on Twitter here, you saw this tweet the other day: freedom of the unbanked. That's a huge motto for SafeMoon. I mean, we want freedom of the unbanked. So we want to be a place where the unbanked can go and essentially bank in a completely new, transparent, secure, efficient way. And so that's what's going to allow us to do it, is if we have our own blockchain. There's a couple of disadvantages: technology costs, speed inefficiency. So if it's not done right, speed inefficiency. So there could be potential illegal activity due to the anonymity that blockchains allow for. Okay, but that's not specific to SafeMoon. That's just a potential downside to any blockchain. Regulation: those are all potential downsides for blockchain. So SafeMoon as is right now is a BEP20 token. It's a token standard for Binance Smart Chain that extends ERC20, the most common Ethereum token standard. So that's what SafeMoon as is right now. What you're buying right now, that's what SafeMoon is. Okay, there's going to have to be some sort of transition from BEP20 once we have our own smart chain to whatever SafeMoon smart chain is going to be. But if we look at the white pages as it's set up with our contract, our smart contract with BNB, right now, there's that 10% fee for every transaction. 5% gets redistributed to all holders. So those are the tokenomics, those are the reflections that you're seeing, but 5% is broken into a 50-50 split. Back to the liquidity pair and pancake swap is 2.5% of that 10% tax, but the other 2.5%, the other 50% there, goes to the contract into BNB. So think about that for a second. We're not gonna have that 2.5% fee for every single transaction that goes from SafeMoon to BNB. Okay, so that's gonna be a lot of money saved, which is ultimately gonna go into the price of SafeMoon, because that's gonna be more profit for SafeMoon as a whole. But anyways, let's move on here. Underneath this tweet, there was a tweet that was a thread showing this here. Did someone say SafeMoon blockchain? We have Unfederal Tie-Dyes, Jimmy Phillips. He says, check this out. So this looks like some sort of code. I don't really know what this is, to be honest. But at the top, it says truffle migrate. And so this individual here posted this. It says trufflesuite.com with a little thinking face there. So when I go to trufflesuite.com, you can see sweet tools for smart contracts. The Truffle Suite gets developers from idea to dApp as comfortably as possible. Okay, so it looks like we might be working here with Truffle Suite to get our own smart contracts in place, our own blockchain, our own smart chain, whatever it's going to look like. We don't know that yet, but it looks like Truffle Suite's going to be involved in the process here. And you can see the awesome companies that are already working with Truffle. We got Microsoft, we got Ernst & Young, JP Morgan, Amazon, and more here. So it looks like a very reputable company. It looks like this is going to be a great partnership here. And then we have this, which is very important. What Papa put in the Discord here, this is very important. The biggest question now is when we move from BEP20 to whatever smart chain or whatever blockchain we have for SafeMoon, like how's that going to convert? How are we going to do that? This kind of takes out of the question the whole potential reverse split idea that a lot of people had, a lot of rumors on Reddit and Twitter and everything, where it says here contracts one SafeMoon to one SafeMoon. Migrations, one SafeMoon to one SafeMoon. So there's going to be some sort of transition phase from what we have now, but it's going to be one-to-one. Okay, so we're not going to lose any SafeMoon in the process of transferring from BEP20 to whatever SafeMoon's going to be. So that's very important. That's awesome. And this goes back to what we're trying to do here with, freedom of the unbanked. If your crypto can help the unbanked, you have a potential market of 2 billion people. So work on it. And that's what SafeMoon is doing. That's essentially our end goal. There is no end goal because that's obviously an ongoing process to continue to be the freedom of the unbanked. But either way, we're trying to reach that potential market of 2 billion people who are unbanked right now. But let's look at what's going on now. With SafeMoon as is, we're sitting as a BEP20 token with a Binance Smart Chain contract. You can see right there. And the volume is 17 million in the last 24 hours. Now we've seen volumes as high as 500 million in a 24-hour period, but the average is probably around 35 million or 35 to 50 million. Right now, we're having a down 24 hours in terms of volume, although that's up from yesterday because volume's been low recently. There's been a lot of weird stuff going on in the market, and that's a whole other story. That's a whole other video in itself. But look at Binance. If we can get our own blockchain, we have our own wallet in the roadmap, we have our own exchange in the roadmap. Let's talk about what's going to happen to SafeMoon's price, because look at the volume that they have. And let me step back for a second. Right now, if you go to Trust Wallet, what you have to do is buy BNB, transfer that BNB to Smart Chain BNB, or you just buy Smart Chain BNB. Then you got to go through pancake swap and you got to transfer it to SafeMoon. So when SafeMoon has their own blockchain, just to put this picture in your mind, there's gonna be projects built on SafeMoon's blockchain that they're gonna have to buy SafeMoon, and then they're gonna have to transfer it to whatever else that the project's gonna be. Okay, so we are essentially gonna be replacing Binance, and if we can get up to volumes that they have, they're 3 billion in the last 24 hours, and that's down 10%. Their volume is huge, and that obviously reflects in the price, and their circulating supply is way lower than ours, 153 million. But if we see consistent volumes at this level here over the billions in 24-hour period consistently, that's going to increase the burn tremendously. That's going to increase the price. That's going to decrease the supply. We're going to see supplies have a free fall at that point if we have volume that high. So that's what we have coming down the line. We have our volume going way up once we have smart contracts in place and we have our own blockchain and we have projects being built on SafeMoon's blockchain. There's so much potential coming from that, as well as with the wallet and the exchange. So this is huge news. We're going to see this volume right here 10, 50, 100 times per 24-hour period. And what that's going to do is obviously bring down the circulating supply. That's going to increase your tokenomics. That's going to increase your reflections, your passive SafeMoon that you're receiving. That's going to increase our market cap. That's going to increase our price. It's all good. They just got to do it right. That's really it. They just have to do it right. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm super excited to see what happens here. Before I end the video, make sure to go get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850. It's free money. Hit the link in my description for Webull. Open an account, put $100 in. Don't even have to do anything with the $100. If you want to, you can. I'm not a financial advisor. I'll never tell you what to do with your money. Nothing I say is for financial advice, but either way, get your free money through Webull. Link in my description. And as always, thank you so much. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that bell notification so you're notified whenever I release videos. I appreciate each and every one of you. I have 13.2 thousand subscribers. I mean, 3 weeks of putting videos together, and this is the growth we've had. Let's continue that growth. I appreciate you all. Hit that like button so this gets pushed to more and more people who are interested in SafeMoon. And everybody go out there, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.